Are we alone in the universe? Or do other civilizations exist beyond us? And if they do, is it possible to estimate their number? Well, someone actually attempted to do just that. In this video, you'll learn who that person was, what their estimate was, and how it compares to our modern understanding of how many civilizations might exist beyond us in the vastness of the cosmos. Before we dive into today's video, don't forget to turn on notifications, subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoy the content, feel free to hit that like button. In my previous video, I introduced the Great Filter Theory, which offers a possible explanation for the famous Fermi paradox. Back in the 1950s, Enrico Fermi pondered an intriguing question. Given the vast number of stars and potentially habitable planets, there should be an enormous number of intelligent civilizations in the universe. But just how many? That was a question someone attempted to quantify only a few years later. That someone was Frank Drake, an American astronomer who sought to provide a thought-provoking framework for researchers engaged in the search for extraterrestrial life. In 1961, Drake formulated the now famous Drake equation, which helps estimate the number of civilizations in the Milky Way that could be capable of communication. In this video, I will break down the equation in detail, compare Drake's original estimates with modern scientific data, explore later modifications to the equation, and together, we'll try to estimate just how many civilizations might actually be out there in the universe. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into it. This is the famous Drake equation. So, what do these factors mean? N represents the number of civilizations in the Milky Way capable of communication. This is the number we are trying to determine. R is the rate of star formation per year. Essentially, how many new stars are born in the galaxy each year? The next factors are typically expressed as fractions or probabilities. FP refers to the fraction of stars that have planetary systems. NE is an absolute number indicating the average number of Earth-like, potentially habitable planets per planetary system. FL represents the fraction of those habitable planets where life actually emerges. FV indicates the fraction of planets with life where intelligent life develops. FC denotes the fraction of intelligent life forms that go on to develop complex communicative civilizations. Finally, L estimates the average lifespan of a technological civilization capable of communication. Drake's original equation and his estimate based on it were more of a thought experiment than a precise scientific forecast. By plugging in specific values for each parameter, the optimistic scenario suggested that there could be as many as 20 million civilizations in our galaxy alone. However, even Drake's most pessimistic estimate allowed for the possibility that humanity might be completely alone in the Milky Way. Technology and space exploration have advanced significantly since the 1960s, allowing us to refine some of the equation's parameters with greater accuracy. I have gathered Drake's original assumptions alongside modern scientific findings. In the diagram, Drake's original estimates from the 1960s are marked in red, while the updated values based on modern scientific data are shown in blue. As we can see, Drake likely overestimated the number of stars forming annually, while underestimating the fraction of stars with planets. He also slightly overestimated the number of habitable planets per system and assumed that life inevitably arises wherever conditions are suitable. For other parameters, today's scientists have generally been more conservative and introduced wider margins of error. When we look at the final estimates, the pessimistic scenario suggests we might be alone in the universe. However, if we input more optimistic values, Both Drake's calculations and modern research indicate that there could be anywhere from hundreds of thousands to tens of millions of intelligent civilizations across the galaxy. Over the past 60-plus years, many researchers have expanded upon the equation. Carl Sagan, the renowned American astronomer and science communicator, introduced the Drake equation to a wider audience in his 1980 Cosmos TV series, where he modified its structure slightly. His version didn't calculate using the annual star formation rate, but instead worked with the total number of stars in the Milky Way, which we now estimate to be between 200 and 400 billion. Another key difference in Sagan's approach was that he expressed the lifespan of civilizations as a fraction of the lifespan of planets themselves. Because of the vastly higher number of stars in his equation, Sagan's estimates were considerably more optimistic than Drake's original predictions. A crucial addition to the equation came from Sarah Seager, a distinguished astrophysicist who proposed a new equation in 2013 focusing specifically on planets that might show signs of life. Her equation shifts the focus away from technological civilizations and instead calculates the number of planets that might exhibit biosignatures, or indicators of life. This is an important distinction because simple life forms are likely far more common than advanced civilizations. However, it's worth noting that we have yet to discover any extraterrestrial life, even microbial life, which is a sobering thought. Other researchers have expanded upon the Drake equation in different ways. Some have incorporated factors like the expansion speed of civilizations, estimating how quickly they might colonize new star systems. Others have applied the anthropic principle, considering how variations in physical constants might drastically reduce the number of habitable planets. The equation could be fine-tuned even further by incorporating additional variables, such as the fraction of planets with tectonic activity, which increases the chances of land masses forming, possibly a necessity for an advanced civilization, or the presence of a magnetic field, as without one, cosmic radiation would rapidly destroy complex life. Most models produce estimates that range from nearly zero to several hundred thousand or even millions of civilizations. But keep in mind, these calculations focus only on the Milky Way. If we consider that the Milky Way is just one of approximately 2 trillion galaxies, and we multiply even the most pessimistic estimates, we find that even in the worst case, billions of civilizations could exist across the universe. And in the most optimistic scenario, their number could reach 2 trillion. This brings us back to the Fermi paradox. If the numbers suggest there should be countless civilizations, why haven't we found any evidence of them? One possibility, as I discussed in a previous video about the Great Filter, is that intelligent civilizations must overcome numerous critical hurdles to reach the point of space, exploration, and expansion. Perhaps only humanity has made it this far. Or maybe our own Great Filter still lies ahead, and we won't be around much longer. Alternatively, it could simply be a matter of distance. Civilizations may exist, but they are too far apart, and communication or travel across such vast distances is limited by the speed of light. Another hypothesis is the dark forest theory, which suggests that advanced civilizations deliberately remain silent to avoid drawing attention. They may fear that revealing their existence could make them a target for more powerful, hostile civilizations. If you've seen the Three-Body Problem series, you'll be familiar with...
Hello. Don't be afraid. We are everywhere.
This concept. Well, we humans have probably already messed this up because for about a century now, we've been broadcasting our existence across the galaxy. The first powerful transmissions began in the 1920s, and since then, they have been continuously spreading through space. At this point, these signals may have already traveled 100 to 120 light-years, meaning that an advanced alien civilization within this range could potentially detect them. Within this distance, there are approximately 15 to 20,000 stars, including the famous Alpha Centauri, and among them are some with exoplanets, such as Gliese 581. Could an intelligent species right now be listening to our century-old TV broadcasts? Perhaps the first transmissions or even the news of the moon landing are just now reaching a distant civilization. Remember that famous scene from Contact, where Earth scientists receive a TV signal sent back by aliens, and after deciphering it, they realize that it's none other than Hitler's speech from the opening of the Munich Olympics, one of our first ever TV broadcasts? Of course, the explanation could be something far more mundane. Perhaps the universe is full of alien life, but they are simply not interested in us at all. They don't even notice us. Kind of like in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where a galactic superhighway is being built, and Earth is simply cleared away as if it were nothing more than an obstacle in the way. And finally, I can't skip over my personal favorite theory, the simulation hypothesis. According to this idea, the entire universe as we know it is actually a simulation, created and operated by some hyper-intelligent civilization. If they don't want there to be other intelligent beings within their simulation, then there simply won't be any, because they have set the parameters accordingly. This includes distances, the speed of light, and various physical constants, all carefully fine-tuned to shape reality as they intended. This theory is so fascinating that it definitely deserves its own dedicated video. Although there are likely trillions of intelligent civilizations in the universe, the vast distances and time discrepancies may mean that we'll never actually encounter them. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't keep searching. NASA and many other researchers continue to search for signs of extraterrestrial life, whether through biosignatures, biological markers of life, or technosignatures, indications of advanced civilizations. So, what do you think? Could advanced civilizations exist beyond us? Or maybe, are they already watching us?